Hello, we're the PNC Newsgirls, Mia.
And Maya. Reading the news 6 days a week because you're too lazy.
Monday, September 18th, 2023.
I'm just never going to get another short quote ever again, huh?
Well, this one's pretty short. It's only like two lines.
Still, I just want one of those minuscule ones. Anyway. People ask, is there someone fit to be our leader? Our task is not to search for that person. Either God will give him to us or he will not come. Our task is to shape the sword that he will need when he comes. Our task is to provide the leader with a nation which is ready for him when he comes. My fellow Germans, awaken. This new day is dawning. Adolf Hitler.
Yeah. We call Joe Biden's TikTok army received hundreds of thousands from George Soros to push left-wing causes, bash conservatives. Billionaire Democratic donor George Soros is financing an army of Gen Z TikTokers to push his extreme left-wing causes, praise President Joe Biden, and bash conservatives. A review of public documents and social media by the Post shows.
Bruh.
I just contracted like 7 different kinds of cancer for reading that.
Okay. Is that Senator?
Yeah.
Senator, I don't know what, JD?
First two initials.
Vance demands Biden admin reveal if American transgender spokesperson for Ukraine military has U.S. intelligence ties after threat to hunt down Russian propagandists. In a letter seen by Breitbart News to Secretary of State Antony Blinken, Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin, and Director of National Intelligence Avril Haines, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance has requested any information the U.S. government has on apparently American-born former freelance journalist Sarah Ashton Suriello, born Michael John Suriello, who reportedly became a spokesperson for the Ukrainian military earlier this year. Why'd they have to change their middle name? What does Ashton... How's Ashton feminine?
I don't know, they sound like how masculine John was.
Sorry, I was tripping, and since I read that one first, I was thinking that was the first and that was the second name. I thought it went from Sarah to Michael, not Michael to Sarah. Okay, yeah, I can get changing John.
Yeah.
I thought Ashton was the original one.
Netanyahu heads U.S. will meet Biden and Musk. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu took off Sunday night on his first official trip to the United States since the information of his government approximately 9 months ago. Following a 2-day Rosh Hashanah holiday, Netanyahu and his entourage departed for the airport. The highlight of his visit is anticipated to be his address at the United Nations General Assembly on Friday morning Eastern Time.
Why'd you ask them?
I don't know, it just happened and then I rolled with it.
Roy then. Policing the policy. Prison prices, the fiction of free markets, and the era of global... I have no idea how to say that.
Nihilism?
Nihilism? We're going with that. Since... Is that vertically?
Yeah. Vertically?
Since vertically integrated cartels can manipulate input/factor prices, also with the help of rigged taxation and accounting rules, the question is not at what price will a certain demand level be satisfied, but at what price a certain rate of profit can be obtained.
Alright, poll column. Columbia quietly closes down Teachers College project that ruined countless lives. Just before the Labor Day weekend, Columbia announced that it's dissolving the Teachers College Reading and Writing Project and sending its creator, Lucy Calkins, off an indefinite sabbatical? What?
And time for the Google. Tell me what this means.
Okay.
Extended period of time away from work.
Okay. That makes sense.
Okay. An explosive situation near Russia's southern borders. Could a new war erupt between Armenia and Azerbaijan? I don't know. The situation in South... How do you say that?
Caucasus.
Is once again becoming tense, as the long-term conflict between Armenia and Azerbaijan over Karabakh is on the verge of escalating into another hot war.
Australian state suspends human rights law to lock up more children. The government of Australia's northeastern state of Queensland has stunned rights experts by suspending its Human Rights Act for a second time this year to be able to lock up more children.
Yeah. Do you say that?
What? Conscription?
Ukrainian conscription. How do you say it?
Conscription.
That word. Also reveals huge casualty, right? Up to 9 out of 10 Ukrainian army draftees who joined in the last year have been either killed or wounded in action. A senior...
What?
Say it again? Yes. Officer in the country's Poltava region said on Friday, according to local media.
Okay. Navy puts the kibosh on digital recruiting program after discovering enlistees aren't into drag queens. The U.S. Navy confirmed on Tuesday it has discontinued an online recruiting initiative featuring an enlisted drag queen that was aimed at bringing new sailors into the service. Why would anybody join to see a dude wear high heels?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, you know, if it was just some random guy failing to walk in high heels, that'd be funny.
Yeah, but that's not what it is.
Yeah.
It's a random dude dressed in high heels and twerking properly.
With 16 pounds of bacon.
Yeah, why would anyone watch that?
Okay. Turning waste plastic into clean hydrogen and valuable graphene?
Graphene.
Researchers from Rice University have unveiled a revolutionary method to harness hydrogen from plastic waste, offering an eco-friendly and cost-effective alternative to traditional hydrogen production. This innovative approach not only addresses environmental concerns, but also has the potential to be economically lucrative.
Alright. Tobias Elwood resigns as head of UK Defence Select Committee after praising Taliban governance. Elwood, who has been the head of committee and cross-party. No. Since 2020, praised the Taliban government in Afghanistan 2 months ago following his visit to the country, saying that they succeeded in totally transforming the country and calling for UK to establish relations with and recognize the new government. Okay, column.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Dominican. Is that how you say it?
Yes.
Dominican. Republic's president stands resolute on his closing of all borders with Haiti. Okay. The president of the Dominican...
It's Haiti.
Haiti? How was that Haiti?
That's Haiti.
I give up a life. The president of the Dominican Republic on Sunday defended his decision to close air, sea, and land traffic with neighboring Haiti in their dispute over construction of a canal targeting a river that runs through both countries.
Race hustler Ibram X. Kindy's Grift Center fires half its staff amid claims of exploitation. The Boston University Center for Anti-Racist Research, a think tank funded by race-hustling impresario Ibram X. Kendi, has fired at least a third of its staff.
Right. Okay. Is that Algerian?
Yes.
Elderly Algerian migrant essays pregnant woman immediately released by authorities and told to leave France. 61-year-old drunk Algerian national forced himself on a pregnant 21-year-old French woman in the middle of the street, according to police. Despite his illegal presence on French soil, he was immediately released by courts.
The organized gangs running a billion-dollar industry stealing cars from the U.S. to help shift stealing cars from the U.S. to ship to Africa, with hundreds found stashed in containers in the East Coast, and a theft every 6 minutes, threatening a national crisis in Canada. A whopping 80% of stolen vehicles in Canada are said to leave the country's ports, and most end up in countries like Ghana. Hey, we synced.
Drinks you all my soda.
No, you.
No, you.
No, you.
No, you. Anyway. Hassan Minhai fabricated stories to paint himself as victim of white racism and anti-Muslim bigotry. How do you say that?
Astroturfed?
We're going with that, even though that makes
Yeah, it's astroturfed.
What does that mean?
I have no idea.
Comedian Hassan Minhaj. His entire act revolves around whining about being the victim of white racism and anti-Muslim bigotry, made up his stories of being oppressed, and an investigation by the New Yorker found.
Okay. Do you even hear about the Muslim who stabbed 2 cops in Times Square? No, I didn't. That investigation, however, was more the result of officials not wanting to recognize Bickford's obvious motive, rather than a matter of his real intentions being unclear. Bickford himself left behind a manifesto in which he made his perspective and intentions quite clear, but since neither he nor his attack fit the establishment media / Biden regime narrative about the white supremacist terror threat, they got virtually no attention.
Okay. They welcomed illegal immigrants with open arms. Now sanctuary cities say they're past breaking point. Prior to being elected mayor of New York City in 2021, Eric Adams' campaign posted on Twitter, now known as X, "We should protect our immigrants, period. Yes, New York City will remain a sanctuary city under an Adams administration." Less than 2 years ago, now Mayor Adams is suggesting the influx of illegal immigrants will destroy New York City.
Politicians still lying about the dead in Lahaina. Hawaii's Governor Josh Green is a bold-faced liar and claims that only 31 people are still missing from the Lahainian fire that burned so hot it cremated people. Gosh dang.
Well then, this was probably quick then.
I guess.
Like if it's,
or maybe not.
I don't know. I think cremating takes like hours though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Never mind then.
But like your nerves burn off, so you start feeling things.
True. Imagine just sitting there watching your flesh melt off. You just don't feel anything. You're like breath.
That'd be really weird. Alright, that is all. Thanks for listening to Mia
and Maya. Read the Central homepage. Do all the good things
and come back tomorrow for more segregated news.